Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It's a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take somewhere in the region of 11 years to accomplish, so plenty of time to raise that money. I'm going to do a minimum of 5 kilometres every day, and I'm even going to do it barefoot style. So those regulars will know that during my runs I vlog about my passions, which are entrepreneurship and running, and most importantly how these two topics link with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. It is a very fresh morning today. It feels really cold, but the sun is kind of out. It's quite breezy, but it's about 2 degrees, so it's pretty chilly. So, but okay running conditions, I can't complain too much. And today's topic is my weekly update on my challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities. So as always, please give this some support, give it a subscribe and a like and a share if you can, and let's get started. So, my weekly update on my mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days of distance of one lap around the world. So it's been a relatively slow week, and I'm expecting slowish weeks now for the next week or so, pure and simply that we've got a big marketing campaign calendar, and although this challenge falls very much within philanthropy and my aim to be a running philanthropist, it's also as much as a running challenge, it's as much a marketing challenge. Okay, so I have a marketing team that kind of work in the other businesses, and they're all working on this challenge with me. And the one thing you have to obviously take into consideration if you have multiple companies and you have one marketing team is workload. And usually when you're launching something or you're doing a promotion, it takes up quite a significant amount of your team's time. And we currently have a webinar launch going in one of our other companies, which is due to, we're on a launch week at the moment, so the webinar goes live next Wednesday. So inevitably the team's attention is on that webinar at the moment and launching that. Once we finish that, it's then a 2-week sprint to get launched for this challenge. So there's not been a huge amount of focus on this really, but there has been progress, which is always nice. Since starting this challenge, it's quite an unsocial challenge really, even though all my content gets broadcasted everywhere on social media. The challenge is because I'm vlogging. Historically I used to be a really social runner. I'd run with lots of people, I'd go to lots of running clubs, all those types of things, but because every run now has to incorporate a vlog, it's turned out to a very habitual, routine-based challenge where I run every morning, very similar time. So it's always 8:30, 9 o'clock every morning. And, you know, if it's on holidays and stuff, this might be slightly later, but it's normally always in the morning, get the run out of the way, and then kind of enjoy the rest of the day. But I'm starting to make a bit more of an effort to be more social. So yesterday I did an 8k run in the morning, and then I went to my running club, High Runners, Histon Impington Runners, for an interval session in the evening, and I'm feeling it today. It's my first interval session that I've done for the best part of a year. So, but the good thing is this running every day, I felt fitter than I've ever done. You know, normally with interval training, you're panting and you're breathing heavily after each session. I felt really good. So, fitness-wise, I think this running vlog has helped me no end, but going to an interval session and then having to get up early and run again straight away this morning is it feels really tight, so much more so than it normally does. But to cut a long story short, the reason to get back into the running clubs is A, for the social, but also to obviously speak to the guys about what I'm doing. A lot of them know already from social media, but some of them are not aware. And having a running club, and I'm very fortunate to have an extremely supportive running club. There's all different levels of ability within the running club. but they're the most supportive group of people I think I've ever met, with each people supporting each other's goals, ambitions, not just from fundraising but support. You know, if somebody's doing a running challenge, the amount of people that will travel all over the place to watch and spectate and support, it really is an amazing running group. That's credit to Neil Marsh, my running coach, and the guys who run High Runners, because to create a really supportive group like that is not common, as far as I've known in other sporting clubs that I've been involved in over the years. And so I was just talking to people, and you know, everybody's like really excited about what we're doing and are all going to give support. So it's kind of like testing what I'm doing on nearest and closest running buddies. So and I've no doubt that so many of them will support and donate to this amazing cause. And the other thing that we identified as a really unique selling point of what we're doing is, first and foremost, children's charities are generally some of the most popular ones, pure and simply because there's a lot of us out there are parents or have been children ourselves. Obviously, all of us have been children, and we may have experienced things that we wouldn't wish to experience on the next generations. So everybody can kind of empathise with either being a child or having children, and that makes it very, very attractive to people to donate to try and make a difference. The other benefit that we've got, because you know it's a competitive market out there, the raising money for charities, and you know you probably I get countless letters through the post from charities that I've supported in the past asking me to keep donating, and I always donate, but I've always tried to spread it about, because it's all good and well. I find there's far too many reasons and causes out there that I want to support to just go, right, I'm going to commit to just one. And that's where what I'm doing is really, really cool, because the 6 charities I've chosen cover you know, nearly all of the issues that children will face in some capacity. Among the 6 charities I've chosen, it kind of covers that variety and that range. And the benefit of that, if there's people choose to subscribe or donate to the Runpreneur Challenge, which is fully transparent, all the monies, every single penny that is received by Runpreneur gets passed over to the charities on a monthly basis. So, and I'll have full traceability and full, you know, transparency of that. It'll all be published on the website so people can see the figures and people can see the actual transactions happening. So to make sure it's all you know, very, very clean in that side of things. But the beauty is that all of a sudden people can make one donation and cover a huge array and wide variety of issues affecting our children or affecting children in one donation, and know that their money is automatically going to be apportioned 6 ways. Now, I'm not really familiar, there might be others that do it, but it's few and far between, if any, that do. So there's me, who, if I was putting myself in the consumer shoes and looking at this challenge, I'd think, yes, the challenge is amazing, it's phenomenal, but actually, where's my money going? And if it was just one of the charities that would cover, you know, a couple of the issues, okay, that may be a good enough reason for some. But if you're anything like me, I want to try and help in as many ways as possible to children. And the only way you can do that is by spreading the donations. Now, to set up multiple donations on a frequent basis with multiple different charities is a bit of an arduous process, whereby donating to what I'm doing is going to support 3 smaller charities and 3 larger ones, and it's going to be spread equally between those charities on a monthly basis. So you're going to be hitting all areas of issues affecting children, and that's a really cool USP or unique selling point that I need to be focusing on getting that out there. So I'm going to be competing for people's, you know, charitable side, and you know, everybody wants to be charitable, or you'd like to think most people want to be charitable, but you can only be so charitable. Okay, it's super wealthy people, you know, choose to be more charitable, but most of us, normal people, might have a small amount that we're willing to donate every month, which is amazing. And if you can make that stretch and go as far as possible, all the better. And I think that what I'm setting up is going to allow people to do just that. So having one donation or one subscription donation to hit so many different areas of issues affecting children, I think is a really, really cool selling point for what we're doing. So that was really heartwarming. There's also a lot of runners in the running group. They've got lots of cool ideas on how they can give me some push on launch week. So I'll certainly be going to the running clubs again on an ongoing basis, because I feel that's something that I've kind of let slip a little bit, is the social side of running. And it has been such an important part of my life. I've made some amazing friends through running, and I think there's something to be said. I've done a previous vlog episode about meeting one of my business partners through running, because the traits that person shows for what they're willing to put themselves through says a lot about their character. So when runs get hard, how hard people are pushing, whether they quit, whether they don't quit, says a lot about that person. And the same with friendships. You can see how supportive people are. You can see through running, you can see how committed people are, and just how decent people are. And it's a really nice way to meet new people. So I've committed to trying to go to an interval session once a week. I don't want to push it too much. I did hold back a little bit yesterday because, like I said, I did an interval session vlog on Sunday just gone, and I did say I haven't done a session for a year, and that's probably what inspired me to do so. But I am fully aware that my role and focus is being able to run the next day. If I sprint or put too much strain and duress on my body and I get injured from doing intervals, then it defeats the whole object. So when I go, it's really hard, because you go with all the fast people or whatever level you're at, and they're just kind of shooting off in the distance. You think, I should really be trying to keep up with these guys. But then the voice inside my head saying, no, Kev, look at the bigger picture. Push yourself a little bit, get a little bit of speed work in, which is healthy and it's going to help your training, but you need to run tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day for 11 years. So anything that's going to increase the likelihood of injury or inability to run, I need to be very, very careful with. So that's kind of what happened yesterday. The other thing that's happened this week, which is really positive, is I did another vlog episode on empowering your team, and this was really, really cool, pure and simply because I had a meeting was called by some of my remote workers, and there were 6 of them in the marketing team, and they called this meeting. I thought, oh blimey, what's gone wrong? Is there something that they kind of want to go through with me? Is there some issue that they want addressing? So obviously I said, yeah, no problem, let's do it. And then I asked what the agenda was, and then to my surprise it was to do with improvements in the Runpreneur kind of content plan. And they sat there, and then the 6 of them had worked together in this almost like a little Kaizen group. If you're not familiar with Kaizen groups, it's a Japanese name of what they gave to groups of people they pulled from different areas in the business with the sole purpose of improving a process within that business. So you might have somebody in marketing, somebody in finance, somebody in sales, somebody in operations come together, form a little group to improve a process. Now, I had the copywriter, the graphic designer, the video editor, the publisher, the project manager, all come together, and they'd worked together for a week, and they pulled together a presentation, really professionally done presentation, and kind of went through the Runpreneur vlog in great detail, and saying, this is what's working, this is what's not working, this is what we need to do better, this is what we're doing really well. And it was just really well done, and it was one of the proudest days of my entrepreneurial life, to have this team of people that are all incredibly capable people. They're all graduate level qualified people. So I think a couple of them have even got masters, so they're highly educated. But the culture that they come from, which is over in the Philippines, is traditionally a culture of wanting. It's quite a passive culture, wanting to please. You kind of, yes sir, yes I'll do this, and it's almost like you need to nurture that confidence level. And to see the journey that these guys have been on, to now be leading meetings themselves, taking ownership, setting up Kaizen groups, and putting together, initiative and innovation. And the beauty of it as well is, when they all first started, they wouldn't dream of giving me any form of criticism. And I look at criticism very constructively, by the way, but they're even telling me about things that I needed to do differently and change, my suggestions. And I loved it, absolutely loved it, because it was so true and it made such sense. And sometimes when you're doing something so frequently, you can't really see what you're kind of doing because you're so embroiled in it. Whereas they're working on it, and they're just as much as a part of the team as I am on this. And they said, this is what I think you should do, this is how I think you should do it, this will be better. And they're working on new ways to get more keyword-rich stuff so the content can be pushed further. And because I think the feedback we've had so far from quite a number of people now is that the content's really good. We just need to work on ways to increase engagement, and we need to work on ways to increase the reach and the views. And first and foremost, we need to make it more searchable. Secondly, we might need to look at how we structure the content, how we can make it slightly more engaging. And they had lots of ideas, and also how we can improve the process so it doesn't take up as long repurposing it in all the different places. So sorry if it's a bit windy, but yeah, really cool. And there's lots of stuff that the guys are working on now for the actual process of what we do every day. And also in the background, they're continuing to work on the copy, the website, all of the pages that need to be created to get this ready for launch. And then we will do a week-long launch, possibly a couple of weeks, whereby we're going to be reaching out to lots of collaborators, try and help launch this, help give this some push. And there'll be lots of people that I'm tapping up to support me in this. So yeah, it's exciting, super exciting on what we're going to be doing. But I think overall, from a weekly perspective, we haven't made as much progress as we have done in previous weeks, pure and simply because we've got these other promotions and launches that are going on elsewhere in the group of companies, and you can only really focus on a launch or a promotion at a time. So next in line is the Runpreneur vlog and the Runpreneur challenge, which I'm super stoked about. So I hope that's useful, just giving you an update on where we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it. And as always, if you've got any questions on this, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate vlog episode and I will tag you in. Do check the links in my bios to keep up to date with the journey that we're on, the challenge updates, and also to view all my content. It's all sorted nice and neatly by topic. And all that's left to say is that, as stated, my content I vlog about is always linked to how it can help people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism to kind of relieve those daily, weekly pressures in the form of stress and process what's going on, clear your head, gain clarity, refocus and move on. If you don't have that release mechanism process, it's those pressures in the form of stress will build up like pressure does in a pipe, and without a release valve. And those pressures will, if you don't clear your head regularly, they will evolve to overwhelm. Overwhelmed when you've got so much going on in your head, it almost causes you to freeze because you don't know where to start, you don't know which way to turn. You procrastinate, and then very, very quickly, if you don't deal with the situation at that stage, it will evolve into anxiety and panic. And when you get to that stage, you're flirting with the edge of a mental health breakdown, which is clearly what we want to avoid. And in this analogy that I've just given you about the pressure in a pipe, the pipe bursts, which is clearly what we want to avoid. Now, I've been there myself. I've lost businesses because of this, these exact reasons. I've lost business partners because of these exact reasons, and I've almost been bankrupt. So it's a horribly dark place that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. So, and there's no coincidence that since I've been doing this running vlog, which is my release mechanism, for the past 11 months, I've made more progress than I have done in the previous 4 to 5 years. So hopefully there's enough social proof that this stuff really works. So my pledge to you is, if you are struggling with this, drop me a message, okay? We all know that Runpreneur is not for profit, okay? There's no catch, there's no sale here. Okay, yes, we raise money for children's charities, but donations will always be optional and they'll never be sold to in an aggressive manner. So help is free, okay? So drop me a message, we'll jump on a call and we'll just work through a step-by-step plan to get you back on the right path. And I know this stuff works because we've helped so many people already, and we continue to help as many people as possible. I always said that if this vlog helps one person or saves one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile, let alone all the charitable work it's doing in the background. So that's it for me. Please give this challenge some support by subscribing, sharing, donating. Check out the links in the bios to find out how. And all that's left to say is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.